Welcome to Tales of Wisdom, a place where ancient stories meet modern life. Have you ever chased something bigger, brighter, or more powerful, only to realize it wasn't meant for you? Today's story, the female mouse who chose her own kind, teaches a powerful truth. No matter how high you rise, your true nature always pulls you back, and ignoring that truth can lead to disaster. On the banks of the holy river Ganga, there stood a peaceful ashram. The river roared over rocks, creating thunderous sounds and white foam. Yet, inside the ashram, sages lived calm and silent lives. The head of this ashram was a wise sage named Yajnavalkya. One day, as Yajnavalkya bathed in the Ganga, something unexpected happened. A hawk dropped a mouse and it fell straight into his hands. Disturbed by touching the mouse, the sage purified himself. But moved by compassion, he placed the mouse on a leaf. Then, using the power of deep meditation, he transformed the female mouse into a little girl. Taking her home, he said to his wife, "We have no child, let us raise her as our own." The girl grew up loved and protected. As she grew older, the sage's wife said, "Our daughter is of marriable age. We must find her a suitable husband." Yajnavalkya agreed and said, "One should marry someone equal in family, character, strength, and nature." First, he summoned Ravi, the sun god. He asked his daughter, "Will you marry the sun who lights up all worlds?" She replied, "He is too fiery and harsh. Find someone better." The sun said, "The cloud is greater than me, for it can hide my light." The cloud was summoned, but the girl said, "He is dark and cold. Find someone better." The cloud said, "The wind is greater than me, for it moves me." The wind came. She refused again. "He is too restless and unstable." The wind said, "The mountain is stronger than me. I cannot move it." The mountain appeared. The girl shook her head. "He is hard and lifeless. Find someone better." Finally, the mountain said, "The mice are stronger than me. They dig into my body and weaken me." The sage then called the king of mice. The moment the girl saw him, her entire body trembled with joy. She said, "Father, he is the best of all. Please turn me back into a mouse so I may live as one of my own kind." Yajnavalkya smiled. With his meditation power, he turned her back into a mouse and married her to the king of mice. Though she was raised as a human, though gods were offered to her, her true nature remained unchanged. Raktaksha ended the tale and warned the owls. Even if this crow is reborn as an owl, he will still be a crow at heart. But the owls ignored him. They welcomed the crow into their cave, and the crow smiled silently. Because he knew Raktaksha was right, and the owls were walking into danger. The crow then bowed respectfully and said, "My lord, I belong to a clan that has always been your enemy. It would not be right for me to stay inside the cave. Please allow me to stay at the entrance, where the dust of your feet will purify me." The owl king Arimardana thought for a moment and replied, "Then so be it." And so Stirajivi, the crow, was given a comfortable place at the mouth of the cave. By the king's order, the servants began to feed him. Within a few days, the crow grew strong, healthy, and fit. But Raktaksha, watching all this, grew deeply troubled. He went to the king and said, "Your Majesty, I believe you are all acting very unwisely." Then he quoted an old saying, "First I was foolish, then the hunter, then the ministers, and then the king. We are all a pack of fools." The owls looked at him in surprise. "What does that mean?" they asked, and Raktaksha began yet another story. And with that, the stage was set. A well fed enemy, a warning ignored, and wisdom drowned out by comfort. In the next story, we discover how a single mistake can destroy an entire kingdom. Stay alert. In the Panchatantra, every story is a warning.